Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us wherever you are across Asia, across the world. Today is a very special day. Today is the season finale of season 3 of our series on Asia Rugby Live. It's a very fitting day because it's also 1 year since we started the show. And I couldn't find any better guests than the man behind the scenes and the man in front of the camera. So today we have the two gentlemen here, Khuram Haroon and our presenter Rod. Here they are. Khuram and Rod, welcome. Now we've reversed the roles. How does it feel?
Rod's on the hot seat.
Okay.
Well, I think it's a bit awkward though when you came on the screen just now. I was laughing. I tried to contain myself. I was laughing, but yeah, it was
Yeah.
it's
I know
different. I would say.
Rod was thinking, he did not say real talk, real rugby. He did not say hello, everybody.
Yeah. But it's fun though. It's fun to be on the other end of the receiving end. So yeah, it's great, man.
It's good to see you. Okay, now behind the scenes, the man that we know, whose dream this was a year ago. Khuram, welcome, man.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you for having me.
Yes, so gentlemen, I think what's needed is for our viewers and listeners and everybody involved to find out who are the people, the one in front of the mic and the one behind the scenes. So I'm just going to start. Khuram, please tell us about who you are, where you come from, but very important, tell us, when did you fall in love with rugby?
Okay. Well, Ben, thank you for the question. I actually grew up in Hong Kong. And when I was 11, my maths teacher, Bobby Thomas, looked at me and said, "Khuram, you're playing rugby."
Yep.
So went out and started playing rugby and actually haven't looked back ever since. Rugby has been an integral part of my life. My best friends, all my friends are actually from rugby, most of them. And I played for school in Hong Kong and made my way up to the Hong Kong under 19. Had some unbelievable matches against Sri Lanka under 19s, and grew up with the Hong Kong Sevens, and so it was a dream come true for me. Went to university in America, played in Arizona State, and then played for the Division I club, Tempe Old Devils. So that's my sort of start to my rugby career.
Okay, so from the age of 11, just played all the way to university, play. Find
That's
your
right.
expression. So Rod, we know that you're passionate about rugby. So where did your rugby journey start? In KL or where?
Of course, in Kuala Lumpur. So basically, my dad, he wasn't a rugby mad guy, but he used to play rugby. And growing up, I used to see, or used to watch rugby together with my dad. So I guess he had some influence in my life in terms of rugby. And when I turned 16, my uncle decided, he said, "Hey, I want to coach your school team." Then I told him, "Hey, we don't have a rugby school team. So how are you going to do it?" Then after that, he spoke to his friend, and then his friend came together to the school and coached the team. That was for a short while. Then that's how I started playing rugby in school, and after that went to university, played rugby there. Then after that continued on with the Royal Selangor Club in club level. Did some coaching at school level, college level, and also at the club level as well at my twilight career of rugby. And back in 2011, in Malaysia, we started a show called Rock and Roll. It was the first ever magazine TV show. I think probably in Asia. I'm not sure with the whole of Asia. I'm sure around Southeast Asia, it was the first one. So I think it's something that the producing team, which consists of Afiq and I and a few others, were very proud of back in 2011. And that stopped a few years ago as the viewership wasn't as great. But then again, it was something great for rugby. And because of that, I started commentating. I started getting involved with rugby broadcasting, getting making friends from all over the world, from all over Asia, and that was a great experience, Ben.
Wow, 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 wow. Okay, so this whole journey from the 16-year-old boy that started playing, then he became a coach. Did people call you Coach Rod or Coach?
Nah, I told them just call me Rod. That's it. No coach, no sir, nothing.
Okay,
Because I think
okay,
at the end of the day, a lot of the rugby spirit, the rugby ethos that we have. I think at the end of the day, what I want to do is I want to give back to the community. That's why I started
that's it.
coaching. Started coaching at
Yeah.
school level. We want these kids to channel their energy to something good. So that's why I started doing that.
Yeah, I think so. You mentioned something that I don't think any other sports always talk about this, and this is giving back to the game. It's something that that's it seems to be inherent in all men and women who play rugby. So I'm just going to ask Khuram. So Khuram, after your playing days, when you came back from United States, of course, then you wanted to give back to the game. Is that how did you give
Oh,
back to?
oh, absolutely. I mean, part of, rugby gave me so much. I mean, I was always had some issues with my anger, so it channeled me to something which, which it gave me just so much that I knew that my dream was to give back to rugby. When I came back to Pakistan, I started a business and didn't think, how am I going to be involved in Pakistan rugby? I didn't know there was any rugby in Pakistan. So very close to my house in Lahore, I was traveling one day and I saw a banner, Lahore Rugby Football Club, tens tournament. Oh, Ben, I tell you what, that was the most exciting day of my life. I went back home and my mom, who's always supported me, uh, always says that was the one of the most interesting days. I was screaming and shouting, "There's rugby here! There's rugby here!" And then I started playing for Lahore Rugby Football Club.
Mm.
And then I joined the Pakistan Rugby Union and was a development officer there. Uh, did a lot of GIR work and managed the Pakistan national side for many years. Got to travel all over Asia, and sort of that was the way I actually got into Asia Rugby.
Okay, okay. So similar stories. The one's uncle got him in. The other one's teacher got him in. So they were players. They ended up as development officers, coaches, etc. So Rod, I mean, you are very polished in front of the camera, and you seem to understand the industry. So where did you get that knowledge to back you up and help you with your love for rugby and spread it in a digital way?
Back in the early 2000s, I would say, after I finished school. So yeah, we were watching a lot of football on TV. There wasn't
Mm,
much rugby. There wasn't much rugby, especially on TV in Malaysia. But there was a few games that was being put on every now and then. Then I went into university and I learned. I was going through the mass communication course. I did the diploma and degree in mass communications. So then I said, hey, you know what? I think I want to be a rugby pundit, rugby host, rugby commentator
mm,
because number one, I love this sport so much and I want to um, be involved with the sport in
mm,
one way or another. And I guess that was a really good goal that I had, and I work towards you know being a commentator, being a host, a rugby host. And the thing is, after I graduated, after I finished my studies, I went on into the radio industry, radio broadcast industry
mm.
first. Then after that, I kept on playing rugby, and that's how I met the producer Afiq, who after that I told him, hey, I want to get involved, with rugby, because that back then there was Astro Arena, a dedicated sports channel just started in Malaysia. Then I got to know that it's part of the company that I was in. Then I said,
Yeah.
hey, you know what? We should start something with rugby. We should start rugby in this channel. So that's how I got to know Afiq was there as well. We used to play together. Then I told Afiq, hey, Afiq, I want to be a part of it. I want to get involved. How do I do it? Then I think a couple of years down the road, I think a year after that, then Afiq gave me a call and he said, hey, okay, we're going to start this. This is how you can get involved. So I started with being a commentator. So ever since then, we never looked back. And the thing is, it's not about the money at all. It's all passion. Back then, it was all passion. It was all, we were giving a lot of time and effort just to promote the game, just to give I guess educate the viewers, spreading the love of rugby to throughout Malaysia, especially.
Okay. If we have time, I want to come back to you, Rod, in the end, is to give some tips for young people out there who want to follow Rod's footsteps. Yeah. Yeah. So Khuram, again, from rugby development officer, manager, all of that, you must have had some background in computers, software, media, to do your job. How did you
Yeah,
marry these two?
Ben, I actually was in the carpet business before this and still carried on for a while. And part of what I was doing was creating software.
Mm,
We had actually had a software house, had an incubation that company that used to make software for graphics, for art, for an ERP solution.
mm,
So, in 2007, I was still doing my business, and I met Bill Ryan, who was at that time in the Exco, and he was in charge of digital for Asia Rugby. And I looked at the website, there wasn't much happening, and I said, "Look, Bill, I put my hand up. I'm happy to help you. Please let me know." There wasn't any website. I mean, this website was very nothing happening there. So I said, "Look, I'm happy to help." So he brought me in, and it was just a matter of giving back to rugby. I thought I'd help promote all that's beautiful things that were happening in Asia Rugby. And the truth was that, at that time started looking at social media. I created all the social sites, and had some through the period. I've had some wonderful help from some great people: Justin Sambo, Tom Cheek, and the Exco. And currently, with the new president coming in, and the CEO, the support about going there and finding the fan and giving them what they're looking for is what this has all been about. And it's just been so wonderful to be able to give back to rugby and support the unions, the 34 member unions of Asia Rugby. And for me, each of them are equal, and the idea is to promote all of their stories. And I think through Asia Rugby Live, we've been able to do that.
yeah,
We've had 34
definitely.
shows over the year, and all 34 unions have been, I've tried to make sure that each of them get equal time so
That's
that
it.
they can promote their stories.
Okay, good, good. So, Khuram, if I, and I'm including Rod in this, if I had spoken to you 1 year ago and say, hey guys, 1 year from now, you would reflect on 3 seasons. And if I say to you 2.4 million views, would you say, is that possible? I mean, for me, 2.4 million views,
Reach, reach.
reach, yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
650,000 video watchers. I mean,
that's right.
that's a
No,
lot in my book. I don't know if you guys agree with me.
I couldn't have imagined it. I know, when the CEO joined Johnny, he goes, Khuram, he gave me about 10 days to bring this
Mm,
about. And I'd like to thank the consultant Afiq and Rod for helping me put this together in such a short time, because in 10 days we were up and running. And we thought, okay, one season, we're going to have, it wasn't even season. We were like, we're going to have
mm,
12 shows and that's it.
yeah.
And, but
Okay.
and the thing is, the beauty of it was that we were able to uh, find something that actually helped bring out the stories, because we were doing so well, and we're doing so well, but we don't get to see the people
That's
behind
it.
the numbers, behind the success. And
Yeah.
me and you, Ben, we've always talked about our champions of development, our
Mm.
unstoppables,
Yes.
our consultants, and also World Rugby. We hopefully we can support World Rugby as well in
Mm.
promoting the messages that they have. And we've had some wonderful people, Katie Sadler from World Rugby, Dominic, and recently the T&E manager and the referees
The
manager.
presidents and the
Yeah,
presidents.
and the four presidents, the regional
Yeah, yeah,
presidents. We're
yeah,
so lucky to have all four
yeah,
very, very great people who really love rugby as much as anybody. They're all volunteers, and they
yeah.
spend so much time on rugby. So it's been an overwhelming experience for me personally. Rod?
Okay, Rod. I don't want to put
Yeah.
you in in a difficult situation, Rod, but you've actually seen 117 guests. Did you know that?
I didn't know, to be honest. I
Okay.
didn't know.
So
Actually, that's
I don't
new to
want to
me.
put you in a difficult
170. Okay,
position.
that's new to me.
100 and yeah, everybody is counted. You don't have to answer this, but if you can name one or two standouts that you thought, wow, I really enjoyed interviewing this person, or get some information, or get to know them better. Was there
uh,
anybody?
yeah,
I
yeah.
might I might know the real answer, but I'll let Rod speak.
Politically, I enjoyed them all.
Good stuff.
But yeah, you know what? Okay, I enjoyed them all. To be honest, I particularly enjoyed. Of course, there are a few episodes up there. It's that is very memorable to me. I think one of it is the four regional presidents. That was great.
Yeah, that was a
Because
good success. Yeah.
number one, if you talk about in production terms, that was crazy because
Mm.
okay, me as the host, the engineer is like an hour away from me, the producer is like 2 hours away from me, and then Khuram is
Yeah,
like 18 hours or 13 hours away from me,
that's
and
right.
the regional manage the regional presidents, they are like,
And
I don't know how
it's
many hours away from me, so
yeah,
everyone
20
is like,
time zones. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. There was like, yeah, 30 different time zones, and we managed to pull through that together. So I thought that was really brilliant in terms of production wise and in terms of content wise, because these people, the regional
Mm.
presidents, they are intelligent people. They know what they're talking about. They know what they want is, and
Yes.
it's really good to have insights, to have their vision known to the
Mm.
world, especially. And that was really great in terms of content, in terms of producing a remote producing per se, because in terms of producing this remote production system, I think we are one of the few people in the world to have started it, to have all of the team especially having done everything remotely. So I think it's something that we can really be proud of. And of course, one of the um, episodes that I really, really enjoyed. Yes, Khuram, I've told you before. It's of course with Sir Gordon Kitchens, where we were talking about a lot of the behind the scenes stories. It wasn't published, it wasn't being shown, but I really enjoyed talking to him, asking him questions about the players, about
Mm.
Jonah Lomu, about all these players that wasn't known to the world, how they were behind the scenes, behind the camera. So that was really enjoyable, Ben.
That's it. So yeah, of course, Rod.
Ben, I'd like to
Yes.
add
Yes.
that one of the things that Rod pulled up before I answer your question,
Yeah.
and I think Ben, you would agree with me, the beauty of bringing up stories. There's a lot of work that goes on before the show. It's about
Mm.
each person. We've got 5 people working on the show constantly, and we finish one show, and the next show is ready. We start
It's
working on the
already
next show,
exactly.
and some of the stories, we have rehearsals, we talk to them and we tell them about the show. We always have a Zoom call in the rehearsals, and the stories that they talk about is just as wonderful. And it's a pleasure in that way, that you get to hear stories from these people that want to tell their stories, and sometimes they're more relaxed, and the stories that you and Rod get before the show are just as great as the ones that actually come out.
Yeah.
And
No,
may I add something?
Yes, please.
I think the viewers should know that producing this Asia Rugby Live, I think credit needs to be given to you, Khuram, because the guests that you prepped to be on the show, you didn't feed them the answers. What you did was you brought out the best in them, because I don't think
Thank you.
I could have run a successful show per se without you prepping them before that, before
Yes,
having
I
that
do
Zoom
agree.
meeting, Zoom calls with them. I don't think I would have managed to done it without your help as
Okay,
well.
Rod,
So
I need to
yeah.
share something with you as well. Okay, prepping, I do agree. It makes life easier for you, Rod, because they know more or less what they want to say,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
been
yeah.
practiced. But I've been on some of the prepping calls, and Khuram, I don't want to put you on the spot, but you had tears in your eyes in one of the calls. I don't know if you want to
No.
share that.
Honestly, especially is the Unstoppables. I
Yeah,
mean, the stories of these women, the challenges that they face, these women, is just been incredible. And I still have a tear in my eyes. That I'm an
mm,
emotional person. I'm passionate. Rugby is about
mm,
passion, but yeah, it's just been incredible. And the challenges that they faced, and they're still going at it. And with normal things that they do, they face challenges. But for them all to play rugby, kudos to them. And really, I think the women's game is something which is just exciting for me. That the Unstoppables are just incredible women, and all of them, we've gone through about. We went through 80 candidates, and there are other women just other than that
oh yeah,
that we keep finding that are just all unstoppable. To me, all women are playing rugby, including my daughter Aisha, who started playing rugby and just joined uh, under 15s club. So very excited about that, and she did it on her own. They're just
yeah.
unstoppable, and it's just an incredible thing for me personally.
Okay, so one Gordon Tidgens, the other one the Unstoppable Women. Yeah, it's a good balance from the highly technical, to the grassroots. So I
Ben,
guess now,
just wanted to
yeah.
add on that for one of the shows which actually our CEO Johnny suggested was my
Mhm.
favorite, was probably the mother and daughter show,
Oh
where the
yes, yes.
mother and daughters came on, and it
But
was incredible for me.
yeah, Rod, that's the one that he cried. If I want to share with you. That's where it's all.
You
Oh.
you you weren't supposed to say that, Ben.
Okay, nobody wanted. Yeah, it's like you
that
said,
was
he's
that
an
was season
emotional.
2, I think. Yeah, that was season
Yeah.
2.
Okay, so now as a little break between the seasons. So I guess you guys are going back and come up with new ideas or see what has worked. Where do we concentrate on? So Kuram, any ideas of what has worked well? Rod, any way of changing the format, or is that
Ben,
still in
Before
discussion?
we go on, I think Johnny had a question on Facebook. Can we bring it up again? I just saw a question from Facebook.
Okay, I saw Alicia Tapa from Nepal said,
Johnny
yeah,
just
2.4 million
congratulate
reach.
everyone.
It's a remarkable achievement. Well done. That's from Johnny, our CEO. Yes, we all agree. 2.4
Sorry,
million reach.
I thought that was a question. Sorry, yeah.
Okay, no,
This is a
it's just
question.
it's no, it's as content creators, what was something you learn about your guests or rugby across Asia? That's a good question. Yes,
Wow.
I'm sure. 1 year ago, you did not anticipate what people were going to say. But so, what have you learned from that, from this whole experience?
Me?
Rod?
Oh,
Yeah, Rod, you go. You go
I
first.
guess I think one of the things that we learned was how important is it to have a rehearsal or prepping
Mm,
um, session, I would say, to have the guests come on first for us to check their lines, because not everyone has a good internet connection, so that
exactly.
needs to be sorted first. I still remember the first ever episode. The guest from India, I can't remember what was her name. She was an unstoppable. Of course, the first the first ever show was an Unstoppable.
Sweater side.
So, what's the name, Khuram? I forgot
Sweater.
what's the name.
Sweater.
Yeah,
Sweater.
Sweta. So
Yes.
Sweta, she's from India. She had to walk, I think, a bit more than 1 kilometers or 2 kilometers away from her house just to get a good internet
To get us a
connection
signal.
from her
Yeah.
phone. So that was something that I just got to know. And after that, um, the stories that we heard from people of they went into the jungle just to conduct a GIR session. That was something
Yeah,
new as well.
no,
But in terms of
remember.
broadcasting, there was a lot of course there was a lot of challenges because not everyone has the same setup as what I have and what we have in the production team. So of course we had to, for us, the production team, we had to try to what do you call that? We had to try to accommodate to everyone whatever gadgets that they have, whatever telephone,
Yes.
whatever laptop that they have, and we try to accommodate to that. There was a challenge at first, but after that we became more experienced, we became better. The first season, the second season, we became better, and of course the third season, everything became much better, much easier. How we handle when people through halfway through the show got cut in between.
Yes.
Then after that came this new system where we can take them out of the system for a little while, and when they came back on, we can put them back
Bring
on.
back.
And that was something great
Yeah.
in terms of
I think
broadcasting wise for us.
there were many shows. There was a couple of shows where none of our guests were able to log in. So I was ready.
Yeah.
I said, okay, guys, I'm ready to go on. So let me know when I can go
Yeah,
on. But in terms of content creation, like Rod, just to double up on what Rod said, preparation is the key. Because people have the stories. It's not about prepping them as such, but making sure that they understand how to put their story across. Because this is new for everybody. When these guests are coming in, it's quite daunting to be in front of so many people out there. So just to let them know, make them at ease, and then they've done it twice, three times, so they're ready for the show. And I must give credit to the production team. The challenges in terms of making sure that the guests are working, everything is working fine, has been incredible, and they've done a fantastic job.
Okay.
And I think to add
from
on
my
to that,
side,
probably we can ask our
yeah.
viewers if you want to have if you want to ask any questions to us. This is your chance.
That's it.
I will
Rod's
answer your
taking
question
over.
this time around, not the panelists.
real talk, real rugby, real question.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I just want to say on that comment, I would say passion came up in each and every one. That's the one. And rugby builds character. I mean, it's like Khuram said, we've seen it, where people, and like you say, Rod, from all over the world and so on, from all parts of Asia joined our show. So
Ben, I think
yes,
all of the rugby values shown through the show.
exactly.
I mean, we saw solidarity, teamwork. I mean, Asia
Yeah.
Rugby team. I mean, I know I can go to you, to Gareth, to Jean, to George, and the support from Exco, from Kes, from Johnny. It's teamwork. I mean, the support and all rugby values. And the guests and the teamwork is just everything has just been so wonderful.
Okay, here's another one. Congratulations to all the success, Khuram, Rod, and Ben. Asia Rugby has been truly amazing, and I think this is from Anand Godiwala from India. Yeah, they've also done amazing things. Yeah, so it's popping up.
Anand has been unbelievable in terms of what they've been able to do in terms of content creation as well. So this is thank you, Anand, and you guys are doing a great job. Keep it up.
Thank you. So let's circle back to that question. Any drastic changes, or what are we going to see in the future? Because if I look at 650,000 views, I mean, I wouldn't change anything. Yeah. Well, what do you say, Rob?
Well, I think that somebody once told me that if water stays still, it starts to stink. So
Okay.
not just, I think it's important to keep innovating, because Facebook and the digital landscapes keeps
Yes.
changing,
Okay.
so we need to make sure that we're out there. And me and Rod were just talking before, and we talked to Afik and this, that we're planning a few changes, a few surprises next season. So there are
Okay.
other, there, as Asia Rugby, we've got other products that we're coming up with. We've got Players Lounge, and we just launched Asia Rugby News.
Yes.
I
Yes.
thought that we have a casual talk, but it's important for unions, and the feedback from the union has been great. That we have a chance for them. This is not for me, not for Asia Rugby. This is a chance for the unions to shine through. So if there's any news that they have, they can send it to us, and we would be happy to broadcast it. So
Okay.
keep as the landscape of digital keeps changing.
Mm.
Facebook's keep changing its algorithm. YouTube keeps changing its algorithm, so we need to keep up with it. So we will be changing some things, but the passion will be the same. The stories will be the same. We'll just make sure that we make it so that it gets a bigger audience.
Okay.
Yeah, and I
Well,
think I want to add on to that as well. I
If
think
we have
moving
competition,
forward, I
sorry,
think
Ron.
we are looking at to involve more people. How do we involve more people per se is probably in the future we can involve the audience as well who are
Mm.
watching, and if they want to ask questions, they can just go on to the show and ask questions directly. Well, of course, not
Ah,
directly, but we need to give a certain link and whatnot for them to log in, so that we can put them on the show to ask questions, to basically answer their inquiry, so
yeah.
that I think this show could be more interesting, so that we have more engagements like this. So I guess that's what the show is
Mm.
basing all about, because to be honest, for us, yes, we can present, we can come up with topics, we can come up with interesting guests and whatnot, but I think at the end of the day we need to address what the people want as well. So I think moving forward, we need to do it, and
Mm.
I think we are going to do it, as we have the technology to do it.
Oh, yeah. I guess the technology is making things so much easier. So basically, what you want to do is to have it more interactive as well.
Yeah,
Where we
yes,
can actually.
of course,
Yeah,
definitely. It
that's
being
brilliant.
interactive,
Yeah,
being more engaging to the audience as well. Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
One.
think a hybrid version as well is something that we're looking at, where
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have something which is interactive and more out there. So lots of ideas. Uh, keep watching Asia Rugby Live.
yes, yes, yes. Um, okay, so there's a question on the screen. As ambassadors and leaders in this field, how can Asia Rugby help the member unions strengthen their online presence and to incorporate these best practices? So, Khuram, I think what your strategy is, but I mean, can you pull in? Yeah, what can you do in terms of
Yeah, I think
workshops?
this is something that me and Ben have been working on, and we've spoken to Johnny is also our CEO has also recommended, but we are looking at going to we've started a few, but we are going to do it more often. Work with the unions. I mean, currently for me, the support I have from World Rugby Communication is unbelievable. They're out there supporting us, but I think we need to do the same for the unions even more. I have one-on-one relationship with all the unions, all 34 of them. Their WhatsApp group. I know everybody complains about my WhatsApp groups. I've got 500 of them, but the idea is I'm there for the unions, but I think we need to make it more structured and have regular
Mm,
media conferences. We need to have
yeah,
communications and a
that's
clearer
it.
communication with the unions, and I think that we can do much better.
That's it. Yeah, I
To
fully
add on to
agree.
it, to that point, to the question as well, I think one of the reasons why we started this show, Asia Rugby Life, is because I think this program gives a big opportunity for the rugby fraternity across Asia to be known and heard, because as we know, Asia is a big continent, it's a huge and vast continent with a lot of diversity, with tons of diversity, and everyone has their own unique playing style, unique way of developing rugby. But at the end of the day, even though some unions is still in their infancy, but the principle of rugby and values remains the same across everywhere you go around the world. So I think that's why we started this show and why we continue on with Asia Rugby Live until season 3.
Okay.
Ben,
Yes.
one thing to
Yes.
add there. I know everybody sort of knows about this, but one of the things that I put in place was cross posting for Facebook.
That's important.
Where we could have kept everything on Asia Rugby page, grew our audience for Asia Rugby page only, but then our unions wouldn't have had the support. So the idea of the cross posting is to spread it out, spread the love.
Yes.
But so the cross posting is that they have. We don't get enough rugby on our TVs in Asia. We don't get rugby, so we cross post our tournaments to all the unions. So we've got relationships with 24 unions that cross post our tournaments, and our aim is to have every tournament. Last in 2019, all of our tournaments were live on our Facebook page.
Facebook.
So the idea is that you don't have TV, you don't have rugby on TV.
That's
So
right.
we are the voice. So we give
Exactly.
it, we cross post it so that all the unions get that. And I encourage unions to use Asia Rugby to cross post their material as well. And I do support them. And hopefully we all go together. We can do better, but together.
Yes. Yes. Good. Good. Khuram, I don't want us to run out of time because I still need to come back to that question for Rod. So, Rod, let's say there's a 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old young man or young woman who wants to become the next Rod, who wants to follow your footsteps. Where do they start?
First of all, I think when do they start? Stay in school. Make sure you finish your studies.
Okay, that's it.
And I think it's all about your goals. I think what you want in life and what you want to become. So now with the digital age that has come in place, there's a lot of opportunity for you out there to present yourself out to the world. How it's just that you need to know what you want, and you need to know what you want people to see in terms of content. So for me, in terms of my journey, so what I did was I studied mass communication, and that was, I guess that's the course that was the right course for me to learn to tell my story, to tell the rugby story to the world, especially to Malaysia at that time. So and of course I didn't stop there. I tried commentating. I tried a few other things. I tried, producing content on YouTube. So I think because of this digital age, there's a lot of opportunities for people out there, especially to start out in the digital platform. There's Facebook, there's YouTube, there's Instagram, and I see there's a lot of content creator out there who is trying, and of course that's a good start. You need to start somewhere. Digital platform is probably one of the best. Start there and make sure you need to build up your contacts. You need to start talking to people. You can't just stay in your bubble, just continue on making your content. You need to start talking to people. You need to start being friendly. You need to start communicating to people out there, especially to people like me who are already in the broadcasting industry. As if you don't start talking to me, I wouldn't know who you are. I wouldn't know how. Probably I can't give you advice on how to make things better on your side. So you need to start doing that to move forward, I guess.
Okay, perfect. While you were talking, I just had this wonderful idea, Rod, that you're going to run master classes. Yeah, you're going to run
probably,
online
yeah.
master classes.
Why not? Yeah, sure.
Because you've just given the intro of masterclass number 1. So, yes. So, okay.
Yeah, I wanted to add to that.
Yes.
Ben, I wanted to remind you. Remember, if when we had the Growing the Game conference in Dubai and then in Kuala Lumpur, one of the things we told all the development officers that you are all reporters. You guys are
Yes.
on the ground, and I say that to the Unstoppables as well.
Mm.
Your story is just as important, so they don't need to wait for us
Mm.
on their social media pages, on their tell your story because it needs to be heard because it inspires others. So
That's it.
it's just not here. So everybody is a reporter, and this is the age of citizen
Mm.
journalism. And then
Yes.
those that do well can do further. And there are a lot of YouTubers, and I think I would sorry Rod, but I disagree. There's not enough of people putting out content, their own content. So I think we need
Yeah, for
more
sure.
people on
Yeah.
YouTube. There are some people doing crazy stuff and doing so well. I think they can do. People here in Asia Rugby need to do more on social media.
That's right.
Hey,
Okay.
there was
So
one question just now.
it's full circle. You saw that, Rod, that
Yeah.
Mafizul said, that this program has inspired unions to actually start planning their own live shows within their unions. So it's full circle now. So this
Yeah.
was triggered. Now this product can go out to different unions. Rod can do the master classes for us, and happy days. Khuram, you've got
Yeah.
35 channels soon, man.
No, I think that would be incredible, and I'm happy to
Yeah,
help. And I'm sure Rod,
that's right.
and we
Yeah,
have a consultant Afik who's also brilliant behind
yeah.
the thing. This
Okay,
takes five people, but we can find.
okay.
We're happy to support any union that would like to put up a
That's
show. We are there for you. So
yeah.
just
Okay.
where I'm on WhatsApp. Contact me, and we'll make
Yeah.
sure that you're ready to go as soon as possible.
Okay. Gentlemen, we're almost at the end, and I'm not going to let you escape without a rapid fire session. So
Oh
I'll be
no, that's what I
no,
was scared of.
no. Don't
Hold
be
on. I
scared.
think you
Don't be
still
scared.
got time. There's one more Facebook question. I
Okay,
think
just tell
the
me, Rod. I
producer
didn't.
said,
Yeah.
hold on. Where's the question, guys? Oh, there you go.
Okay. How can Asia Rugby support the news streaming or photo agency which support the rugby in Asia? That's a very technical question for me.
How can Asia
Khuram,
Rugby support the news streaming and photo agency which support the rugby in Asia? I
Khuram,
think,
is the answer in the
uh,
cross posting or
yeah,
I
from
think
my observation,
partly. I
Khuram has
think
done a lot
partly. I
of
think
cross posting,
this
right?
is something that I mean, if you talk about our weaknesses, it's important to not just talk about strengths, but talk about
mm,
weaknesses. I think this is something that this question actually means that we do need to work more with the normal media as well. We can't forget them. So that relationship is something that we haven't built up, and I think that's something we need to do where we are producing. But when we have the tournaments, we have been supporting news channels by giving them footage, giving them photographs and news articles. So, but I think we can do more to support the normal channels, which is the newspapers, the TV channels.
yeah.
So I think that's something we can work on.
What do you say about this, Rod? Well, how did you anything to add
Oh
on
yeah,
that
yeah, for
question?
sure. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think for Asia Rugby, Khuram especially, you guys have been supporting a lot of cross posting, reposting, and
Mm,
also
mm,
helping the unions, like especially in Malaysia. I'm talking about Malaysia, where tournaments, local tournaments, school tournaments was being posted on Asia Rugby and being shown throughout the audience of Asia Rugby. I think that's been a good effort on Asia Rugby side, but probably like Muiz said just now, the person who was asking the question, probably in terms of support with the limitations that we have now, I think the one of the biggest support that Asia Rugby can look at now is having shows like this, talk shows, keeping to keep on talking about rugby development, rugby games, rugby players, to connect to players who are playing in the top level. People like in
Michael
Malaysia,
Lynch.
Duke Krishnan,
Yeah.
who is playing in the top league, stuff like that.
Yes.
Just to keep on talking, I think that's one of the support that Asia Rugby can provide.
And I've seen people come in on the show, and then later on, the media picks up on it, and they get
Yeah.
interviews. So I think it is supporting the people that are in Asia to highlight. Once you highlight their story, the main media picks up on it. So
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I think that's
For
good.
sure,
Okay.
for sure.
But we need competitions. Once we have the competitions going again, we'll have
Yeah.
so much. Yeah. But
Well,
talking about,
I must
yeah,
say that the Exco and the competitions people, the committee is working really hard.
I know.
I must say that I've never seen people work so hard in terms of getting ready for competition. So return to play for Asia Rugby has been our key message. This was the topic of our show, but I know, the mandate is there to start as soon as we can, wherever we can, cross border or wherever. Just rugby has to be back on the ground, and a lot of people have started. A lot of domestic. Korea just had the universities championships. We had
Okay,
a question there.
but there's one competition that's definitely going to happen. Although it's called Tokyo 2020, it's going to be in 2021. So this is the
Yeah.
start of my rapid fire. Can I ask predictions, Rod? Winners. I know what your answer will be. So which
All the
two teams will take the gold? Two teams will take gold.
all blacks and black ferns.
I'm not surprised. Oh, I don't know why. Khuram, Team GB, and am I right?
Well, no, actually, I would love to see Japan get a
Yes,
medal.
fully
I mean,
agree.
I don't
Fully agree.
gold or no gold,
Yeah,
at least a
yeah,
medal, or the women
Yeah,
or the
for
men.
sure, for sure.
I
that's
think
right.
they have the potential, and for Asia again.
Mm, mm.
But then we've got Korea coming up. I mean,
Korea as well. Yeah.
Korea. I would
Okay.
love to see an Asian team,
Yeah,
China
yeah.
women. China women. I mean, really,
Yes,
I tell you what, for us, it would be a dream that one of the Asian countries
that's
gets a
right.
medal,
Yeah.
whatever medal
So,
it is. It
yeah.
doesn't matter.
Okay, so
Olympics for me always was a dream. And I never, when rugby came into. Am I talking too much for rapid fire?
It's rapid
God.
fire.
yes. I just want to finish off rapid fire on my side. South
Sorry, Ben.
Africa,
Carry on.
Japan or Korea, second and third. I'll be the happiest man in the world. And China, yeah, and then and we know China women. Okay, next one. Favorite player of all time, Khuram. Somebody that
Me,
you would say yes.
probably
Well,
Sonny Bill Williams.
Sunny Bow. Okay, Rod, same answer.
Richard Hugh McCaw.
Okay, is he a sir? Yeah. I think he lifted the World Cup twice. Well done.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
question, rugby related again. Now we talk going on tour. Where would you want to go on tour? Khuram, you could be manager, and Rod, you could be team coach, or anything you want to be in the team. You getting on a bus or a plane and you go on tour. Where would you want to go on tour?
I would
Oh,
love to go back to America and take a tour of Tempe, where I played rugby for so long. Between Tempe and Hong Kong,
Okay,
two favorite places to go back to.
nice long bus ride. Yeah. Rod,
I would like to go and play rugby in Fiji.
Fiji.
Yeah, Fiji.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Fiji. That
Okay.
would be great.
Okay. Okay, on this same topic. So let's say, for instance, you can teleport yourself now straight away and spend 24 hours anywhere in the world. Where would you want to go?
Me,
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
New
yeah.
Zealand. Anytime,
Okay.
New
So
Zealand.
anywhere in New
To be
Zealand. Yeah.
specific, Queenstown.
Okay, Queenstown. Okay. Wonder what's going on in Queenstown. Where's some rugby club there that Rod wants to join? Okay, Khuram?
oh, that's a very difficult question, Ben. I
Yeah.
must say, but probably anywhere where rugby is being played, I
Okay.
want to be there. Anywhere,
I would have
I
actually
want rugby back on the field.
Yeah, I would have actually wanted you to say to go visit my mom and to have her home cooked meal. Yeah. So
That would have been the most right answer to do. I mean, my mom,
yes,
I just wanted to do mention, thanks for bringing it up, Ben. my real support and my real strength is from my mother.
Yes.
What an amazing lady. So thank you for
Okay,
that.
staying on the culinary side. Favorite dish, Khuram?
Me?
Home, yeah, home
Probably
cooked.
probably a street pad thai.
Okay, home cooked or restaurant cooked. So you would go for a sweet pad thai,
Pad
sweet
thai, from
pad
Thailand.
thai. Yeah, Thailand. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, that one.
Okay, Rod, satay,
Uh, no, chili crab.
chili. Ah, nice, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. I don't know how much time we have, but I just want to talk about cooking. So, Kuram, one secret you need to let out that you can actually cook.
Well, I'm an amateur chef or cook,
Okay. Yes.
and probably the something that people don't know much about me in the rugby community is that
Yeah.
I took part in Masterchef Pakistan, the first season that they did, and actually I came top six in
Oh,
Masterchef
beautiful.
Pakistan.
Okay.
So
Okay.
another amazing time for me in my life, and just 3 months of amazing, going through it, and a couple of top dishes. So it's another passion of mine is cooking.
That's it. That's cool. Okay. Can you cook the chili crab for Rod?
I make a very mean chili crab.
Okay, that's it,
Oh,
Rod,
Rod.
next
I'm
time.
looking forward
Next
then.
time.
I'm looking forward.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got a deal here. Rod, so if we
Yes.
want to sign out, do I have to say real rugby, real talk, real how do I do it? Or can
No,
you
you
do
have
it
to
for
thank us first
another
I
to be
think
on the
I, I
show.
think it's the last one of the season, and
Yeah, I
I
think
really
Rod.
would love to hear Rod sign us
Please,
out.
Rod.
Oh, I sign you guys out. Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
All
please,
right.
Rod.
please.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, thank you very much for being with us on the show. Ben, you have been a great host, stepping in for me this time around. Never again, okay? Never again. And for Khuram, thank you very much for being so passionate about the show. And thank you very much for bringing me to be as the host of the show. I think, thank you very much. When you come here to Malaysia next time, I won't let you cook. I will just bring you out to the best restaurant in the world called Fatty Crab. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for being with us on the
It's
show. And to the guys out there, keep watching rugby, keep talking about rugby. Do not stop talking about rugby. And this is Asia Rugby Live. See you in the next season. Goodbye.
beautiful. Wow.
Bye bye.
Selamat pagi, selamat tengah hari, selamat petang, good morning, good evening, good afternoon.
If you look at rugby now, the support, the visibility, the competitions that we've got is just fantastic.
Accept to move beyond the preconceived schemes, go into the unknown, take the challenges.
We still have a long way to go, but it's undoubtedly the most progress that we've seen in such a short amount of time since the beginning of the women's programs globally.
Concussion education is vital. It just ensures that everyone in the game is safe.
Passion that the workforce have in Asia, they're really enthusiastic.
Since rugby is a new sport in the Philippines, we want to see it like a household name.
Why won't I join even if it's rugby or is any other game? And I'm not just a rugby lover, I think, or football lover, I'm a sports lover.
Number one is the safety of the players. And then number two is the health authorities, the authorities that we need to get the approval in order to play the game with the COVID situation.
There's very, very little that actually separates them physically. They can all bench press, they can all squat, they can all run.
It's an honor to be amongst such incredible and powerful ladies. You get to learn a lot from each other.
Slowly through the basics and the community, once they get to meet the other teammates, they start falling in love with the game.
Would like the same, in order to go fly out or travel, with the team and experience new places, cultures. So I think just like us ladies, we would enjoy to go out and obviously to practice before tournaments and not 1 month just before.
I tried 5 scores and my coach gave me award of best player of team.
India team is a very good team. For comparison, boys the women's team are very good.
I think it's a really good time to invest these strange times and start knowing the laws and doing some testing.
The Olympics is a very special one, right?
Have the best team there for the Olympics, which is obviously the pinnacle of sevens for the players, coaches, and all the officials involved with it.
Enjoy, and hopefully I can see you guys soon. Take care, and see you guys next week on Asia Rugby Live.